Well, hello everybody, welcome to Thursday's vlog, and today I wanted to talk about something one of my clients was just musing about. She showed me her phone and it was a picture on Facebook of one of those my face whens or, me without or anything like that, and this one was about coffee first thing in the morning, and I think it was Cruella the Witch or something like that. It's interesting though, because normally I laugh like crazy. It's like when mom calls and I'm late to be home and I gotta get home or whatever. Those things are kind of funny to me. But that one, the sleep one, actually got me a little, not irritated, but kind of concerned. I worry that the conversation around sleep has devolved into musings about it. And it's kind of disconcerting to me because sleep is one of the biggest important parts of our life. We spend a third of our life in bed. And what ends up happening is if we don't get that sleep, it daisy chains into the next day, and then into the next night, and then the next day, and the next night. And that doesn't sound like that big of a deal unless you're like me, it does. But if you have people in your life, or a job, or health concerns, or anything important going on during any of those days that you don't sleep very well in, you don't perform as well. You don't have the focus, the cognitive function to kind of kick some butt through that day, or and treat people the way you'd like to be treated, and all the other stuff I've talked about on this channel so far. And it kind of brought me up into talking about one of my other personal philosophies is, the morning starts the night before. Specifically after you've had a really solid dinner, super healthy, you've had no screen time before bed, or if you have to have screen time because you work or you're a writer or anything like that, downloading an application like Twilight or Flux or something like that kind of dims out a lot of that blue light. Speaking of light especially, pitch black room. I've talked about this in my actual blog before, but our skin itself actually has photoreceptors on it, which means that it knows when there's light out and when there's not. And specifically when there's blue light, we tend to actually think it's still daytime out. And our pituitary in the back of our head, the thing that's actually responsible for sleep, tends to not turn on very well and turn off the body and get you the rejuvenation you need. I'm not going to go into how much sleep you actually need because there's a lot of debate around that. For me, I love 10 hours. For some reason, it just rejuvenates me a lot better than most people, but I can get away with 7.5, 8-ish. Any less than 7, and I am not a pleasant person. I am reaching for that cup of coffee. Those posts are about me. But I really made the decision a long time ago to get at least 7 hours because I know that about myself. Having the awareness in the first place to realize, wow, when I don't get enough sleep, I turn into a crazy person. I'm not going to joke about it on Facebook. I'm going to say, I'm sorry, world. I was irresponsible, and I put you at risk from my morning bitchiness. Instead of posting some crap about, I was a dick, right? And finally, the last one I want to talk about is just, if you don't want to call it meditation or mindfulness or anything like that, just a breathing session or stretching or something like that before bed to bookend that this was daytime, this is now nighttime, and I'm about to go rest and sleep. And kind of starting the next morning with that same thing as well helps a little bit too, before you reach for the coffee. Just having that breathing, stretching, getting the opposite bookend of this was sleep time, this is now morning time, really helps me out quite a bit to keep my head on straight, especially because I deal with people for a living, and they're the ones that can be crabby, not myself. So that's all I got for this. I'm starting to run out of things to talk about. I've gone through most of my personal values and whatnot. So if you guys have any suggestions for what you may want to hear about, anything about my personal life or things that you guys want to share with me, let me know in a comment below. Otherwise, I'll talk to you tomorrow.